Hi, Claire. How are you?
Hi, Allie. I'm good. How are you?
Good. We are so excited to have you on our Women in Golf series this week and get to know a little bit more about you and as an artist in the space, just where you came from in terms of golf and where you're headed. So, Claire Nilan, it is so nice to have you.
It's so nice to be here. Thank you.
Absolutely. So, I always start these asking our women in golf, where did you start with the sport? Like, how did golf come into your life?
So, golf has been a part of my life since I was born. My dad is a golf pro, so
Okay.
he's Australian, and he played professionally over there. And then when he moved to America, he started to be like the head pro at courses,
Mm-hmm.
so teaching golf. And so I've been around it my whole life. Obviously, he taught me as soon as I could walk.
Oh, that's cool, of
Um,
course.
and
Are you an only
I
child or did you have siblings that
I
you golfed with?
have an older brother.
Okay.
Yeah, so he's 2 years older, and
Mm-hmm.
he also played. He definitely took it more seriously than me. He played in college and on mini tours professionally after that.
Neat.
Um, but I, yeah, just played my whole life in, ever since I was like very little, playing in
Mm-hmm.
little kids golf tournaments.
Yeah.
And then middle school team, high school team.
Okay.
That's where it ended competitively. But um, I still play today, so
Yeah,
for
I
fun.
bet.
Yeah,
I
it's a
bet.
it's a
And
great
so
sport that you can, yeah,
always play.
always always play. Yeah.
I know. And that's cool. So you play, I would say you were definitely a golfer growing up playing, even through high school. I consider you as an athlete were playing golf. Did you play any other sports or just golf?
I did. I tried lots of sports,
Yeah.
tennis, soccer, running.
Mm-hmm.
I tried all like the and swimming, but golf is the one sport I always, played because that's what we did as a family. We'd just go
Yeah.
out, or I'd go to my dad's work after school, and my brother and I would play putting games,
Yeah.
So
I bet you were just around it a lot.
yes.
Well, that's cool. That's such a nice way to start too, because you've got a good foundation for the sport. And your skill level is probably a lot better than mine. I've always been a super casual golfer, but same thing. It's just always been something my family does too. But
No, yeah,
that's cool.
I'm rusty. I For a while I played like I don't know, one, maybe once a year.
Yeah.
And then once I started dating my now husband, he's a big golfer, so we would
Cool.
do golf dates.
Yeah.
Um, and he got me, back into it, and I got a new set of clubs, and I
Oh,
got
that's
excited
awesome.
about it again. So
Yeah.
I play a couple times a month now.
Oh, that's good. That's an
Yeah.
improvement. That's actually sounds really good. It's actually how I got back and into the sport much more heavily was I married a man that loves golf, and so that's what we did too. And even to this day, 5 boys later and everything, our getaway is like, let's go golf for 4 hours and get dinner. So
That's
you
awesome.
you'll
Yeah,
it gets harder though, right? Like as you get busier with work and life and you're a newlywed, like hopefully you guys will make time for golf. It's such a good way to connect and be together.
definitely. Yeah.
I love that.
We lately we've been doing nine and dine
Oh, those are
dates. So
fun.
we'll like after work we'll go play and then have dinner at the club.
Oh yeah, that's
That's like
perfect.
perfect for me. I love 9 holes. That's
Yeah.
the right, you know, it doesn't
And I
feel like
I
I'm
feel
taking
this
my whole day.
no, either that or I feel like on the back nine I'm always frustrated about something. So I feel
Yeah.
like my game goes downhill and which means I need to play more. So nine is just fun
Yeah.
enough to be like, oh, okay, that wasn't so bad. Oh, that's awesome. And so
Yeah.
where are you from? And are you living like back home around family?
I moved around quite a bit growing up.
Mm-hmm.
Born in Atlanta,
Okay.
then moved to Australia
Mm-hmm.
for 2 years when
That's cool.
in about 2001,
Mm-hmm.
and then we moved to Knoxville, and then I went to college in Chattanooga,
Okay.
so Tennessee, and then I'm back in Atlanta.
Oh, got it. Full circle. So
So yeah.
are your parents and brother like is everybody there?
Um, for a while, my family was in Tennessee. Um, my mom unfortunately passed away about 8 years ago.
I'm
And
sorry.
my brother moved to just like an hour outside of Atlanta. And my dad
Mm-hmm.
has been kind of following us
Yeah.
because he doesn't have any other family in America.
Oh,
So
sure.
he actually lives it's called Lake Oconee,
Okay.
right outside of Atlanta, and there's like tons of great golf courses,
Oh,
and
nice.
he's loving it because he's just golfing every day,
Is
and
he
I
retired or
like
is
it.
he still working?
He's retired,
Yeah,
yeah.
good for him. So
So
he's thoroughly enjoying it.
yeah, so
That's
it's good. Family's
that is
close,
great.
and
Good.
um,
That's always
yeah.
helpful. That's neat. So I would love to talk about, I think from kind of your college career, like what did you, or I guess at what point, and talk about just obviously what you went to college for, what you studied, and then was golf always a component of your, um, I mean, I guess it'll eventually be like work, right? But even through school, did you know you would be where you are today?
No, I didn't necessarily know. I didn't have any idea. Um, I've always been creative,
Hmm.
um, doing some type of art or DIY, um, drawing, everything ever since I was little. In high school, I started to take an interest in the idea of entrepreneurship,
Hmm.
um, and I didn't know what that would be. And I loved marketing, so I studied marketing in college
Okay.
and worked for some startups and really liked that kind of um, stage of a business where
Yeah.
everything's new and you're kind of wearing a ton of hats. And
Hmm.
um, I guess I started to realize I like that. Um, I don't know. As an artist, it's hard because I'm not super good at at necessarily like all the business things,
Yeah.
but I like doing it all. Since I'm such like a DIY lover,
Yeah.
every every part of the business is fun for me to take on. So like building a
Yeah.
website,
Hmm.
doing social media, taking pictures,
That's so cool.
um,
You're like open to
writing
learning
blogs.
and
Yeah,
yeah, that's really cool. I mean, there's a lot of value in that. I think I mean, you were hands down like check a lot of boxes for an entrepreneur. So, and especially that aspect of learning as you go and developing your skill in all those different areas, especially as just a, I mean, business owner in general, it's so helpful to not that you have to be an expert in all those things, but at least have some sort of foundation of like, all right, here's how to do it. And it makes it much easier when you grow to a certain point where you're like, okay, now I know what it takes to do and this is where I might need help. But that's really cool that you find like some
definitely.
excitement
Yeah.
in all the elements of it. So were you taking did you take any formal art classes in college or even high school? Like was art your favorite subject or anything like that?
Um, Definitely took some in, school growing up, but it wasn't
Yeah.
a focal any more than any other student. But it's
Mhm.
always been something I've loved. I just never actually saw it as something I could do
Right.
professionally or like as a career. Honestly, like it never
So,
even crossed my mind. I thought I would be like a designer for a business or
yeah.
I did graphic design, website design,
Mhm.
and that's kind of where I expressed my creativity for a while. Um, and like that kind of stuff is what I'm most passionate about.
Yeah.
So this kind of just happened sort of accidentally. I've had an Etsy shop ever since college, and I
Okay.
would just it started out as watercolor paintings and greeting cards, and I would like barely get any sales, but I just would put it up as
That's
sort
so
of a
cool.
hobby. I couldn't even
Yeah.
call it a side business at the time,
Uh-huh.
and it just started to grow, and I started to get commissions and custom requests and custom orders, and um, when I started to do golf things, the first one I did was for my brother for his birthday,
Oh,
and his
cool.
friends wanted copies of it, and they were like offering to pay me for it. And I was like, what?
Oh,
And so I was like,
stop.
I'm going to
That's
put this
neat.
on my Etsy shop. And then
Mm-hmm.
I started to get orders on Etsy. And that's when I realized like this is a niche that I
Yeah.
can build a
Like
business
really
on.
go
And
after. Yeah.
yeah,
That is so neat. So, what course do you remember? What course you painted for your brother?
it was Cuskawilla. So
Okay.
I don't know if you're familiar with it, but
Mm-mm.
it's in Georgia on the lake. It's a really pretty course.
Yeah. And so it meant something to him. Was it like a birthday gift or something?
Yes, it was a birthday
Uh-huh.
gift.
That's so cool. And I think it's beautiful. Like those I mentioned this earlier, but I think I followed you well before I had really launched the business or anything like that. As I was just starting to follow more people in the space, um, I was totally drawn to some of your artwork, and I think it's so unique. The when you've got those watercolors or the course layouts, and there's something abstract but yet like tangible about them. And I I mean, I went to school as a ceramics major, and then realized I
Oh, that's
wasn't probably going to
awesome.
do much with ceramics. So, like you, I ended up, unfortunately, I dropped ceramics and I went into business school, and I was an entrepreneurship and like supply chain manager. But same thing, I was like, one day I'm going to start a business. I don't know what it's going to be, but I'm going to work towards it. So, and I too have always had this creative side, and it's such a good outlet um, for somebody that enjoys like the DIY thing. And I dabble in painting and all that. Not anymore. I like hardly have any time for
No,
that.
that's awesome.
But it's such a good outlet. And I think it's so cool that something like that for you has come into a business. And like you said, you found that niche that people are looking for something either customized or some piece of art that even like the pieces behind you. I'm assuming you painted some of those. You're
Yeah.
like, what's behind me right now?
I did kind of, it was a bit messier before, so
Oh, you did some cleanup.
it's a
Trust
little
me.
staged right now, but yeah, that is some of
Oh,
my work.
I love it. So, I mean, you've got such a good mix because I think you've um, got the really cool, very, particular courses and the abstract kind of layout of those. And then some of your pieces like behind you with that. Is that watercolor as well, or is that oil?
That's acrylic,
Acrylic, okay.
Pebble Beach. Yeah. So
Awesome.
I've started to try different mediums.
Mediums.
It's
Hmm.
fun for me, but yeah.
That's so neat. Do you have a favorite?
Um, Not off the top of my head. I mean, I do. I feel like the latest thing I do is always my favorite,
Yeah,
but it always starts out as I'm like, I don't know if I like it.
right. Oh, I'm sure.
Um,
So is
but
there, what about the medium? Are you most comfortable with watercolor and then, or anything else that's like, that you're in the moment or really enjoying some medium over another?
lately I've been enjoying acrylic. It's kind of, I go through phases. I love
Yeah.
watercolor though. I always go back to that. It's kind of the easiest to pick up and start because
Mm-hmm.
you don't have to worry about the paint drying and um, it's a little less messy.
Yeah.
Um, but that's usually like what I end up going
Go
back
to.
to.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And so any of your, now that it sounds like you started right away with some commissioned art. Are you, I mean, what's kind of, if somebody reaches out to you for a commissioned piece of art, what's your kind of backlog or timeline right now for turning around something? And I'm sure it depends on the size and exactly what it is, but
Right
are you,
now, it's about a month.
okay, that's pretty good.
Um, in my busier season, which is usually before Father's Day and Christmas.
Yep.
Um, Sometimes it gets. I'll actually just. I like to keep it within a month because I don't want people to wait too long. So I'll just
Yeah.
close it down orders and not
Yeah.
take new ones until I can
Mm-hmm.
um
Catch up.
yeah, catch up honestly because it
I'm
overwhelms me if I have too. I did get to a
sure.
point like 2 years ago where I was just like extending my turnaround time, kept
Yeah.
pushing it out, and people didn't. They were like, "Why is it going to take so long?" And then I was overwhelmed because it was so many orders coming in that I just felt like I needed to
Yeah,
set a
turn the
limit,
hose off.
which is hard for me to do, but
I'm sure.
I think it's better that way.
Yeah, absolutely. I guess you can set a better expectation when there's just no ordering that they can do.
hmm
How many pieces do you typically do at a time then? Like right now, do you have
Um,
5 in the queue that you try to work on?
yeah, I would say um I probably deliver about 5 a week.
Mm-hmm. That's
So,
good.
yeah,
Yeah. So I mean, full time, it sounds like
yes, it's definitely
doing
full
this.
time. hmm
That's amazing. What does your husband do? Is he like at home as well? Or you guys, and both have the luxury of working from home?
Yes, he's always been, even before
Nice.
COVID, he's been remote.
Nice.
So he is in healthcare, tech sales.
Got it.
So he used to travel more, but they've turned to more Zoom calls and everything. So
Thanks to
we've got
COVID.
side by
Yeah.
side offices, so
Oh,
at least we
nice.
have our own spaces. Um, yeah,
That's
it's nice because
awesome.
we have a house, but we don't have kids, so
Yeah.
we're using the extra rooms right now as our offices. But one
Yeah.
day,
Yeah.
um, that'll change.
You'll shift some things and be in, yes, funny
Yeah,
places, funny corners in your house trying to make it work. Yeah.
yeah.
So, so you just got married. Did you get married locally?
Yes, we got married in Atlanta,
Okay.
um, in November. I guess it's been more than 6 months, but time flies.
Feels like yesterday,
Um,
I'm sure.
yeah.
Did you have a big
Um,
wedding, small wedding?
it was it felt big. It was 150. I mean, it wasn't that big, but
Yeah, that's a
um
good size.
yeah, we had,
Oh my
a
gosh,
good time. All our
congratulations.
friends and family came and um wanted to keep it local so that more people could come.
Yeah.
I love to travel, so we thought about doing destination, but we went away for our honeymoon, so
Oh, good. Where'd you go?
we went to St. Lucia.
Oh, nice. So you probably didn't
We
do any
didn't get to
golfing
golf
there.
though.
You were, no, you were just beachside relaxing.
Yes,
That's actually very nice. That's beautiful. That's on my list. I've never been out there, but I hear it's really pretty.
it was beautiful.
That's
Yeah.
so cool. So, do you have a favorite course that you've either played or is kind of on your bucket list of places to play?
Um, Definitely a lot on my bucket list.
Mm-hmm.
I love any course that's on the ocean or like really
Yeah.
scenic and
Mm-hmm.
obviously inspires me to paint something.
Yeah.
But we, I've played a couple courses in Australia on the ocean that
Oh,
are really
cool.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Nothing famous, but just like where my dad grew up,
Probably
and where
breathtaking.
he learned to play. Yeah.
Yeah. That's really
Um,
neat.
and we're taking a trip to Australia in the next year, and we've
Oh,
got a couple
cool.
courses that we're gonna plan on playing. So I'm excited for that.
Oh, good. I hope you capture that on social selfishly so we
Yes,
can
definitely.
follow along. That's so cool. So in terms of like when you're golfing or when you're trying to find inspiration, are you taking pictures on your phone or are you one of those people that are always traveling with a really nice camera? And is it just in that moment where you're like, I have to take a picture of this and this is what I want to paint next? Or how's that process, like creative process, work for you?
A bit of both.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely used to take my camera everywhere. Lately, the iPhone is just takes such great pictures that if
Yeah.
I'm golfing or just like on the go, I'll just take a picture with my camera or
Yeah.
my phone. But I golf photography and just like as a hobby is
Mm-hmm.
something um, that I love as well. So
Yeah.
um, I'll probably bring my camera when we do go to Australia or any
Yeah.
um, really special courses in the future.
That's so nice. Do you look for those moments or those landscapes that have multiple textures to them? Do you like, integrating kind of that sunset light? Like do you have kind of a go-to where you're like, it's got this this painting has to check these boxes?
I don't really have a go-to.
Mm-hmm.
I guess just like in the moment, I like getting kind of a unique view, like through the grass or like through the
Yeah.
an opening in the tree or something like that.
Yeah, like a cool perspective that,
Yeah, like something that's not
yeah.
just the typical like picture everyone gets,
Right.
which um,
That's
it
really
depends
fun.
on where you are, but
Mm-hmm. Have you
the lighting is important.
yeah.
Obviously, like early morning or sunset's always really pretty.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's
So,
so neat. Well, I I admire your work. I've tried to paint a few things and I'm always never satisfied. Probably practice
no,
is
I'm
what
sure you're
would
really
help,
good.
but it is.
Do you
That's
still do ceramics?
um hardly. I've had some friends that'll like gift me gift cards to some. There are a couple cool little spots here in Cleveland that you can go and just throw clay and stuff. I have so little free time. So I would love to get back to it. I actually, our spring summer 24 collection is kind of a clay canyon inspired, colors and things like that.
Oh, I love
So
that.
I tried to like bring it in a little bit of my love for clay and ceramics. So it's a
I'm
fun way to
excited for
do
that.
that. I know. We're going to Colorado Springs for that photo shoot. So there's a
Wow.
good mix of kind
Oh,
of
yeah.
those canyons and things like that. I'm actually trying to bother, you'll appreciate this. I've tried to bother a couple studios in Colorado Springs to see if they'd let me come just like throw some clay and get some cool content around
Oh, that would be
the process.
amazing.
I know. So I'm like really trying to hold on to it as long as possible,
Yes, I
but
hope you do that.
I
Are
know.
there some really cool courses there
There
with
are. There are. So
with
we're
the red
shooting at the
rocks?
Garden of the Gods resort. If you Google it, it's
Mm,
really pretty. So, and it's kind of an all-encompassing, a good for photo shoot, one-stop shop because you've got this beautiful resort, some cool hiking areas, and then a beautiful golf course. So it's
wow.
checking a lot of boxes and all of our clothing, as you can probably see, like really trying to flex in and out of life. Like it's lifestyle that flows through golf effortlessly. So it'll be a fun, and that's kind of an artistic outlet too, right? Of just trying to figure out and align with the right people to help us capture kind of a very cool artistic moment when it comes to capturing the clothes and all that. So it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a
That's
fun little
amazing.
trip.
I'm
That's at
excited. I'm
the
jealous.
I know. It's a good excuse to go do something fun like
Oh,
that.
yeah.
And we'll do that at the end of August. So I think it'll still feel nice and summery. And it's funny because we actually have to shoot fall and winter as well. So we'll find some pine trees and something that feels a little bit more fall like. So
Yeah,
we're gonna have a busy 3 days to say the least. But that's a really fun process and it's between designing the clothes and then something like this, it definitely feels like a few areas that I get to use my creative energy. So
definitely. Yeah, I feel like anytime you're a business owner, you have
mhm.
that opportunity
Yeah.
um, that you probably can't necessarily express in another corporate job if you're
No.
kind of limited to
Yeah.
your responsibilities.
Oh,
But it's nice that we
100%.
can kind of pick what we want to
Yeah,
take part in.
I know. I definitely get it. I mean, it's as you probably know, it's so easy to get bombarded by the day-to-day business management of things. Obviously, a big part of your job is output of your creative stuff, but I'm sure. Do you ever feel like that you really need to save time to do pieces that you're wanting to do versus commissioned? Or do you feel like you have a pretty good balance?
Um, that's something I try to work on.
Yeah.
I have a hard time saying no to
Yeah.
um, commissions and
Yeah.
projects, which I mean, I do enjoy it. That's like I
Hmm.
love anytime I'm drawing or painting.
Yeah.
Um, so it doesn't feel like work by any
That's
means,
so
but
cool.
I do think it's important for me to set aside time to express like my creativity in other ways because
Yeah.
for a while I was just doing the course maps and
Yeah.
um, for a long time and I was like, oh, I miss just like getting out the paintbrush and
Hmm.
doing whatever I want. So I've been trying to do more of that lately.
That's cool. That's great. I'm sure it's like everything, finding a balance.
It's hard. Time management is
Yeah,
tough for
I
me.
know. I'm sure. I'm sure, especially if you're in the mindset of it being hard to say no to people. I get that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So so you're managing your social, like all aspects of the business right now?
Yeah, I do it
Yep.
all.
Yep.
Yeah.
And is the social piece of it something you enjoy, or does it feel like it totally weighs you down?
Um, I enjoy it. It just takes more time than I really, I guess, realized.
Mm-hmm.
Just like creating reels like that, putting together
Yeah.
videos like that takes so much time, and it's always on my to-do list to do something.
Yeah.
So I have a tendency of kind of falling behind. Like I'll put out some content and
Yeah.
then you probably won't hear from me. It's really bad. It's on my list. Like I need to be have a routine and
Consistent.
like post
Yeah.
more regularly. I just get busy, and that's kind of like the
Yeah.
last, like least
Yeah.
important thing on my list with like fulfilling
Right.
orders and emails and everything. So,
Right. Right.
it's something I'm working on.
It's a hard thing to keep up with. I definitely was I think I underestimated the same thing, like the amount of time you spend in it. I think it's something that's like really distracting. I know
Yes.
even just being in the early stages, like I really like to be in there answering DMs and being like at the very forefront of all that outreach to kind of community and building that, and it's so distracting. I have to be like, all right, I'm putting my phone on do not disturb for the next hour and getting this done because it's so easy to be like, oh, who just messaged and I need to respond to them right away. And
Yeah, and you want to be like,
I know,
available for any
yeah,
questions,
yeah, it's a
um
tough thing.
and then also just creating content, like taking pictures
Yeah,
of myself or my work.
right.
Um
Yep.
it's like
It
tough.
is. It is tough.
It's tough.
And I know I wasn't super active just personally either. So it was a very stark difference and adjustment
Mhm.
from all that. And I mean, to the point where my kids sometimes are like, are you on Instagram again? I'm like, oh, I gotta just take this picture really quick. Just, you
It's
know,
work.
oh, it is. And I think about it too when my
Yeah.
boys the oldest one is 10. And so he's much more aware of like things around him. And, um, he doesn't have a phone yet or anything like that, but I can imagine the day he has a phone, I'm gonna be like, put your phone down. He's gonna be like, well, you put your phone down. Like it's
Yeah.
gonna be, I mean,
Oh
it's certainly the
gosh.
world we live in, but yeah, it's like it's tough kind of finding a balance of just putting it down. And I've had to start for like kids sporting events. I leave my phone in the car. Like there's just it's like really tough to just set it down and walk away from it for a little bit. And hence why I think golf to some degree is a nice way of doing that. Although now I find myself being like, oh, I got to shoot some content for a second. Like, so
Yeah. It definitely
it's
is though. I
a
mean, I do think
balance.
golfing kind of forces me to step away from
Yeah,
all of
right.
that because
From the
you can't
etiquette
really
of,
like check your phone between every shot or everyone's gonna be
yeah.
mad at you for taking so
Oh,
long.
yeah. Oh, for sure. I know it's one of those things I need to like go golf 9 holes by myself so nobody's sitting there judging me for having my phone open. It is such a funny thing though. So and just one question we always ask our women, what's your style on the course? Like what's your either go-to pieces? Are you a skirt girl? Do you like dabbling in the dresses? What's kind of your favorite way to dress on
I
the course?
My go-to is a skirt
Hmm.
and like I'm a very neutral person.
Yeah.
Like this is like the least neutral thing I own.
I love
Um,
it.
because my friends make fun of me because I'll have like the same shirt in gray, black, and white, and
Yeah.
like a light blue, and like times 50 with every outfit I have. So,
Hmm.
um,
I can relate to that.
in golf though, I do try to like I'll have like a light purple skirt, and like
Hmm.
that's bold for me.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's fun to get um like a new
A
golf
little
outfit,
bit.
and
Hmm.
but yeah, pretty much just like something that's
Pretty
comfortable and soft
neutral.
and
Hmm.
easy to pair with anything because I don't have
Yeah.
that many. golf outfits, so I don't want to have like a skirt that only goes with the one shirt.
Right, right.
So
Yeah.
it's nice to have
Yeah, a few
neutrals.
pieces that work together. Yeah, I
Yeah.
get that. That's awesome. And I think something it's always nice to not necessarily wrap the conversation up, but when you just look at kind of where you are today, and I think the question of what's next for you, do you think, are there any upcoming projects you're excited about, or um, anything you feel like you're changing up as you kind of move forward and grow the business?
Um, One of my bigger long-term like goals or focus
Hmm.
points is building my wholesale
Yeah.
um, area of work. I get a lot of courses reaching out to me, but I've never actually marketed myself. It's all word of mouth.
Yeah.
Um, and I've realized like maybe if I just reach out to some, like they
Hmm.
would want it and they just like don't know about me. So
Yeah.
that's something long term or even short term that I'm working on, figuring out a way to, um,
Yeah.
without being too
Reach that market.
salesy, like kind of
Hmm.
build, or like grow in that area of wholesale.
I think I could
Cause
see that working really well. I think I've seen just floating around to pro shops too that there's more and more that are shopping for more gifted pieces and things that aren't just clothes in their pro shop, and um, that can speak to not only the golfer but also like the social member. And I could see that
mm-hmm.
working so well in a pro shop, gift shop. Um,
Yeah,
it's
especially like the ones that are more resorts or
oh yeah.
places that people travel to, because a
Hmm.
lot of my best sellers are um, kind of like, well, obviously the courses, their home course, the course they grew up on, but a lot of
Yeah,
people come back for more and they collect all their favorite courses that they've
it's
done golf
cool.
trips or traveled
Yeah.
to. Um, and I've also had courses, a popular wholesale outlet is doing the awards for their flight winners
Oh yeah.
or
Makes a lot of
um,
sense.
yeah, tea gifts and doing like a framed piece with like a plaque
That's
for the
so cool.
champion. So
Yeah.
it's something they can hang on their wall and as
That's
like a
such a
trophy.
cute. That's such a cool idea. My mom's head of the women's golf the next couple years. I'm gonna have to send her that idea.
Oh, that's
She would
awesome. What
love
does she
that.
do?
She's like the president of the women's golf league over here at the country club that we belong to. So, but she's
Awesome.
constantly like, oh, I don't know what prize we should do, and everything's so typical, and nobody wants another golf bag, or there's just all those things. It's like year after year looking for something that's a really cool
Yeah,
gift. Like that's a great
definitely.
idea.
Clubs are always looking
Yeah,
for
I bet.
something unique because I feel like they have several tournaments a year and they need
Yeah.
something different for every award.
Right. Oh, that's
So,
so cool. I can see a lot of things working in that respect, but I'm sure it's also like thinking about you setting up a booth at the PGA show in Orlando, like the amount of um probably business you could get from something like that is amazing, but on the other hand, how do you juggle, right? Like the mass amounts of
yeah,
sales you could potentially get from that. That's probably a whole nother strategy on how
that would be an
you
amazing
grow something like
opportunity.
that.
I've definitely, you know, thought about that for the future and
Mm-hmm.
I guess you would have to I would have to kind of prepare ahead of time, like hire someone to help me.
You're gonna have some interns
Um,
helping you with
yeah.
some projects. That's so cool, though. I think that's neat that you've grown a business completely out of a hobby, and I think it's starting with a gift to your brother. Like that just
Yeah.
um, is so
He still
cool.
tries to ask me for royalties.
I bet he does. Seems only fair, but it's so cool that it's just naturally taken off and people are obviously drawn to what you're doing and how unique it is and what a great like giftable piece that is for many people. So, and it sounds like you've got plans to keep growing and I'm sure it'll evolve so much over the next few years. So, we're really excited to just kind of follow you along and especially our community too. Like it's really neat to share with all these
Yeah.
women, just those people out there that while you're a golfer, you're not, it's not just women golfing. I think you've got a cool spot in the industry that I think it warrants like some attention to and just following you along. So can't
Thank you
thank
so
you
much.
enough for the
You
time.
as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Claire, and we'll get this all posted so we can follow you along. Thanks for the time.
Awesome. Thank you for having me. I really enjoyed talking to you.